Welcome to Ballet Bites. Today we're diving into the world of ballet hands, those graceful yet, surprisingly powerful details in every performance.
I'm excited, to explore how those seemingly tiny hand movements can completely transform a dancer's line and, overall expression.
Absolutely, it's like, imagine your dance as a complete sentence and your hands, well, they're like the punctuation that really clarifies its meaning.
Right. Like a perfect comma can change an entire thought. So can a well-executed port de bras.
Exactly. And speaking of that, ever seen a beautiful port de bras completely spoiled by awkward, lifeless hands? It's like, all the movement gets lost.
Yep, that's when style meets technical issues head-on. It's almost tragic how a moment's misplacement can disrupt the whole line.
Now, on to one of the juiciest topics, pancake hands and pinched fingers. Pancake hands, those flat, lifeless shapes, can really sap the energy out of a dancer's performance.
And then there are pinch fingers, where the thumb gets squeezed uncomfortably against the rest. Yes, that tension is such a hidden enemy, isn't it?
Right. One of the major reasons behind these faults is neglect. Dancers sometimes forget that their hands, like the rest of their body, need conscious care.
Yeah, it's almost like, if you ignore the little details, they start speaking louder than your overall technique.
Precisely. So to combat these issues, dancers use a couple of techniques. For instance, using mirrors in class.
Help spot errors in real
simple
time.
drills with pencils or small weights can really retrain those stubborn muscles.
It's fascinating how such small props yield big results. It's like debugging your technique one tiny detail at a time.
And then there's the notorious broken or drooping wrist, arguably the most common hand fault in ballet.
Absolutely. When dancers get fatigued in hard jumps or turns, they tend to lose that critical alignment, which really compromises the overall look.
Exactly. A neat trick to avoid the drooping wrist is to visualize your fingertips extending well beyond what feels natural. Like, reaching out as if you're trying to touch an invisible wall far away.
Visualization is powerful, although sometimes I wonder, can it really override the body's natural fatigue, or is it just a mental crutch?
That's a great point. I'd say it's not a magic fix, but for many, it acts as a constant reminder to maintain that perfect line throughout the performance.
True, but I do think it should be paired with solid physical conditioning. Relying solely on visualization might not be enough when, the muscles have already betrayed you.
Absolutely, it's a combination of both physical and mental discipline. Now, shifting gears to another quirky challenge, crab hands.
Oh yes, crab hands. They sound funny, but they're anything but. I mean, stiff, rigid hand positions with awkwardly stuck-out thumbs completely disrupt the fluidity a dancer seeks.
Right, crab hands are, exactly as uninviting as they sound. The solution here is all about soft spacing, ideally maintaining around 3 to 4 centimeters between fingers and the thumb to create that natural, graceful flow.
That spacing really makes a difference, sort of like holding a delicate flower without crushing it.
Exactly. And then comes an interesting twist, different ballet methods. For instance, Vaganova technique emphasizes this subtle coin-holding look, which is all about refined delicacy.
Right, that's so distinct from what we see in Balanchine, which sometimes favors a more dramatic, almost expressive claw shape. It's fascinating how these schools can have such divergent aesthetics.
It really is. Even within the same art form, little nuances, like hand positioning, can reflect an entire school's philosophy.
Yeah, it's like each method tells its own story through the dancer's hands. It paints a whole picture of their artistic outlook.
Absolutely. And that's why those seemingly small corrections aren't just technical, they're expressive. Watching a dancer is like reading a masterpiece where every brushstroke counts.
Exactly. Each hand movement is, a punctuation mark in the beautiful sentence of a performance.
And that's what underlines our final wrap-up. Hands aren't just decorations. They're a critical part of every movement, essential for expressing the full artistry of ballet.
Spot on. It's amazing how, when you get the details right, a dancer's entire performance can, really light up the stage.
For dancers facing these issues, it's all about adopting practical steps, using feedback tools like mirrors, not shying away from, targeted drills, and always keeping the principle of fluidity front and center.
Yeah, and sometimes, despite all the technique, every dancer ends up with their, unique signature hand style. But that personal flair should still respect the basic principles for a seamless overall look.
Exactly. It's a balancing act between individuality and discipline. A bit like writing your own piece of art within a structured form.
In a sense, those hand details are what differentiate a competent performance from a breathtaking one.
Right, and the key takeaway is that every little movement matters, no matter how minute it seems. It's like every dancer should, treasure their hands as an invaluable instrument of expression.
Well said. And even when things go awry, like with pancake or crab hands, there are solid techniques to remedy those issues. So there's always room for improvement.
Exactly. And a gentle reminder, keep practicing those drills, let yourself feel the stretch, and don't let tension creep in. Because every bit of mindful correction, contributes to that elegant line every dancer dreams of.
Yeah, it's like tuning a fine instrument. You have to adjust the tension to achieve the perfect resonance.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of ballet. It's a continuous evolution of technique, expression, and, well, passion. Every detail, including those elusive hands, plays a significant role in telling the story of the dance.
I love that perspective. It really brings out the idea that art and discipline are inseparable, with every detail adding depth to the narrative on stage.
Right on. So, for all the dancers out there, keep an eye on those hands. They're not, just an afterthought, but the very punctuation of your performance.
Precisely. Whether you're aiming for a refined coin-holding finesse or a more dramatic claw, the message is clear. Your hands matter. Every single movement.
And that, folks, sums up our deep dive today. Keep practicing, stay mindful, and let your hands reveal the poetry inside you on stage.
Thanks for joining us in exploring this fascinating corner of ballet technique. It's really been enlightening.
Absolutely. Remember to check in with your mirrors, solicit feedback, and most importantly, trust in the power of those graceful gestures.
Couldn't agree more. Every nuanced movement counts in creating that unforgettable performance.
So here's to your journey as a dancer. May your hands always speak the language you envision.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Do share your thoughts and keep those conversations going, because every critique helps us all grow.
Until next time, stay graceful, stay dedicated, and keep those ballet hands alive and expressive.
Catch you in the next deep dive on Ballet Bites. Happy dancing!